Hi folks, so this is Boldmere. Boldmere is somewhere I used to knock around with as a kid, and I don't live too far away from here, but it's not where I live. It's definitely not as nice as this area. So it's actually quite difficult to buy somewhere here that's cheap anymore. A lot of people have moved up here apparently from London, so I've been told. Yeah, but it's actually a really, really nice place to come, and we still have a library, thank goodness, and there's a library in Erdington as well. I'm not sure if there's one in Sutton that's open still. These shops have been sort of various different types of shops. I think that one was a sports shop, then it went to a cafe, and now it's back to a sports shop. We have a little Tesco Express, of course. You'd always get a Tesco Express in these places, and a Sainsbury, and yeah, we used to have a Poundland as well at one point, but I didn't feel like it was like really fitting. I'm not a snob, but Poundland isn't really any place that you can buy anything for £1 anymore. So yeah, as a kid, my mum used to drag me down the library, and I used to end up I used to end up loaning little books, you know, with those little back in the day we used to have little brown, kind of like just little brown what do we call it, library cards, and I think you'd have about, if I remember right, you'd have about 4 of them, and you could actually and they would just go in under whatever section you bought the book from. I think that's how it worked anyway. You know, it's funny how your memory changes, so I might be imagining that. Never seen that place before. It's a cocktail bar called Serenity. I think that's always been there, the Asian cuisine. Yeah, I used to hang around down those fields. It was good fun back in the day. I'll take you for a walk around there one day. Yeah, I used to get up to a few shenanigans when I was in my early teens. But yeah, it was all good fun. Top carpets, I didn't know that was... But yeah, Boldmere is actually, it's one of those places that has improved. It could still improve further. We lost a Boots chemist down here. The Boots itself was way too big for what it was, for the amount of customers it had. It should have been one of those amalgamated shops where maybe you have like a chemist and something else in there, which is probably the growing trend, and I don't see anything wrong with that. You know, to have like a bank and chemist together or something. There used to be a youth club up there that we used to go to. I think we used to go through there. It might be in the back room up there. That was fun. Those days were fun. Back in 82, no, I didn't go there in 81, but back in 82, that's when I really started getting into going to the youth club. You know, there was always a little bit of trouble. There was always a little bit of friction with certain people, but it was a good place to hang out, and you knew mostly everybody there. So over there used to be the Boldmere pub. It's now the Harvester. You know, I hate these generic pubs, and I have to be honest, I've never really had a great meal in there. Maybe once or twice, but I had a breakfast in there once. It was pretty awful. But generally, this is a nice place to come, and we have I think that's a Wetherspoons, is it? It's a free house, so it might not be, but I have been in there a couple of times. That's actually really nice too, and yeah, it is Wetherspoons by the looks of it. Same as Wetherspoons. There is a Wetherspoons van right there. We have quite a few charity shops on Boldmere. It's not a bad thing. I mean, you don't get any worse stuff here than you would get anywhere else, or you don't really get any better stuff that you would get here in charity shops than you would get anywhere else. That's another new one on me. It's funny, until I notice these places, I don't notice these places. The breakfast brunch bar. And of course, no high street would be complete without the vape lounge. And so far, I haven't seen a Turkish barber. So, you know, maybe that is. So that's called the Bishop VZ. Yeah, this used to be the old Boots actually. It's a crying shame actually that these places aren't that these places aren't taken up, the occupancy isn't taken up, tenancy isn't taken up very quickly. Usually to do with the rent, fully licensed insurance. Oh, that's just somebody advertising their services. I thought, blimey, that's an unusual business. See, when I was a kid, my favourite shop. So okay, that's a charity shop, but that's also their cafe. And that's actually quite nice. They're very nice people in there. When I've had a lot of, I've got an apple tree in my garden, and for anyone who has an apple tree, you'll know that one year you'll get a really cool big crop, and then the next year you'll get nothing. Oh, sorry. Oh. So across the road we have Verona Italian restaurant, which is perfectly nice. Now, back in my day, I used to go there specifically to buy, it was a delicatessen. I used to go there to buy Twiglets. I had an addiction to Twiglets when I was quite young. I still do like Twiglets. They're very, you can only eat so many. It's not like crisps where I could absolutely wolf crisps down. I shouldn't wolf crisps down. But yeah, with Twiglets, they were nice back in the day, and they used to come in a box, which was absolutely amazing. It used to be a big square box, and you used to kind of like lift up the lid, and Twiglets. We've got Butcher's there, which is fantastic. So and Andrew Martin, now we used to have an Andrew Martin up by us, but it was a hairdresser, and I've always wondered whether there's any association between Andrew Martin optometrist and the hairdressers. There's a car place over there. It's obviously it's closed down, and I'm going to be honest. My brother had a car from there. My dad had a car from there, and there was something very, very dodgy with. And I'm only saying this now because they've closed down. Because it was a long, long time ago, and there was all of a sudden there was oil in the in the petrol or something, and they had their own mechanics that you'd have to send it to, and so yeah, it was all a bit sketchy, and yeah, a bit sketchy and a bit stressful for my my brother and my father. This is actually a really nice place. It looks really, really chilled. I think I have been in here in a different incarnation, like when it was, I think it's a bit bigger. Mother India, House of Mr. Light. I mean, that has been there for a long, long time now. I don't know. I wonder if it's still open, because I never tend to come up here of a night. I don't tend to go out too much of a night now. Podiatry. There used to be a podiatrist around the corner, so I'm wondering if they've moved there. One of the best places on Boldmere is the fruiteras, greengrocers, and it's an absolutely fabulous selection of fruit and veg in there, and they have a few snacks as well. But yeah, it's great. There's nothing cheap or nasty about that place. And one of the other things I'm really, really proud about that Boldmere has, that probably, I don't think it had, 20 years ago, was two things actually. Actually three things, including the fruit and veg shop. So the other thing that we had, which has been a new addition as far as the road goes, is the Boldmere Hardware. And although, these smaller shops tend to be a little more expensive than if you go somewhere else or if you buy stuff offline, it's still a vital point in the community to, and I think they've actually, they had a, alright, I think they've actually sort of like shifted their shop across, unless I'm imagining it, because it was actually spread across two shops. But we've got a post office as well, which is fantastic that we've still got a post office that's open here. Obviously, got the coffee cup, which is, again, it's maybe not cheap, but actually it's an absolutely wonderful place to visit. I usually sort of like throw a few quid together to go there and just have sometimes with some friends have a breakfast, and yeah, that's amazing. I think that's a funeral co-op. Sorry about the sketches, my arm's beginning to ache, so I'm going to hold it in my other hand and hopefully I won't put my big fat fingers across it. So another one of my favourite places down here, and I don't often go in actually because I'm trying my best not to collect stuff. It is Psychotron Records, and this is absolutely amazing. You can find these guys online, and actually the owner of Psychotron Records also owns, he's also the manager of a group, Carrie Martin I think it is, but yeah, fantastic. So yeah, Boldmere Road, because you can't call it a high street, it's not a high street. Boldmere Road has actually really improved. He's made it a very nice place for people to come and shop, and for your needs, not just for leisure and entertainment and you know, eating out and stuff like that. It's a good place to shop, and you know, as a child, one of my favourite things to do was to go to a sweet shop. So we have a sweet shop on Boldmere Road, which is absolutely amazing. I'm really tempted to go in there in a bit and get some nourishment for the troops at work. And we have a chip shop at the end of the road. We have a pub. It's nice, actually, the pub's still going. It's still going strong. So we've got a nice selection of bars and pubs down this road. We have a restaurant, Indian restaurant, just down there, and that is Kabash. I can't remember what it used to be called now, back in the day, but I think actually this was going back some years. I think all of a sudden, I think one night Robbie Williams and Kylie Minogue turned up there, so yeah, that put them on the map a bit. But all in all, Boldmere is a very nice place to shop, and even though there's traffic coming through, you can still relax. If you're just here to chill out, you can actually really relax. So it's a really cool place to come. I would love to live down here. I find it, you know, it's a nice atmosphere. Although, you know, as people will tell you, anywhere you go, there's always a bit of trouble. But I think Boldmere is probably one of a few oases. I already know there's an auto place down there. That's cool. So why am I making this video? Well, number one, because I'm getting into making videos, and I just want to entertain myself, have a look around, and sometimes by making a video I'm taking in a lot more than I would normally take in if I was just, say, I don't know, just driving through on a bus or driving through in a car. And secondly, I'm not the slimmest person anymore. I will be honest, I am about 16.5 stone. So a lot of people wouldn't have said that, because I'm not tall, but I'm about 5'9", so there is a bit of a spread there. But yeah, definitely I need to get back to what my ideal weight would be about sort of, you know, 13 to 12 stone, I think, healthy weight. And I promised myself at the beginning, in spring, that I would, in April, that my biggest aim was to actually walk a lot more this year, take my camera with me, take a lot more in, have a bit of fun, and you know, just lose a bit of weight, but you know, in a good way. I mean, because going down to the gym is fine, but I think walking around, you know, you can maybe get to talk to a few people as well. And I have some wireless mics which I need to sort of sort out, because I've got a big bushy mic thing attached to this phone which looks absolutely ridiculous. But oh, well, that's a nice car. Do you know what? If I don't own a car at the moment, I drive a car for a friend of mine on some insurance. But you know, that is, I love green cars, and yeah, any kind of green car I really like, and that's actually really nice. I'm not even sure what kind of car that is. I don't know much about cars, and one of these people say, oh, what was that car that you saw that you liked? I said, well, it was green, so it doesn't really help. So anyway, folks,